Am I the asshole for leaving the dry wedding early to go out? So 2 weeks ago I-35 female went to a wedding in our college town for a member of our college friend group. My husband and I left the kids with my parents and we went. We got a verbo with another couple I went to college with for a few days. My husband and I don't have a ton of time to ourselves away from the kids, so we were excited to let loose. On the invitation it said the wedding went to 11 with an after party with the bride and groom at the venue. The venue was a gorgeous mansion and the bride and groom had it for the night. They were leaving for the honeymoon the next morning. Cut to wedding day and it's a dry wedding. Apparently the groom is 2 years sober. No one told us this and we were admittedly bummed. When we found out there was no alcohol, we told people we were going to some bars after and not going to the after party. We left the wedding at 9:30 because we were itching to go out and the wedding was boring. Pretty much the whole college crew left around that time and went out. Apparently, the bride's friend group did not stay for the party, the groom's did, and the optics were very lopsided at the party. We all heard from the bride about this and she called us assholes for leaving. She said that she didn't feel supported and felt like we were spiting her now husband for his sobriety. I told her that she was reading too much into it. We just wanted to go out. She is especially mad at me as I'm looked at as the ringleader of this outing. I don't think I've done anything wrong. Am I the asshole? Edit. Ceremony was at 5, reception at 6. I'd like to call you NTA. Had you just left quietly and not talked about it with groups of people, you would have gotten that judgment. Unfortunately, you're the asshole. You told all the friends that this sucked and you were leaving to go get drunk, and became a ringleader for the group of friends to follow. I get it, weddings can be boring and drag on. I went to a wedding. Marriage didn't last longer than the wedding. The wedding started at 4 p.m. Very little food provided at the intermission before the reception. Only cucumber wedges with cream cheese idky. By 10:30 the dinner hadn't started. We ran to a diner and found other wedding guests. A complete surprise, but we all laughed it off. You are the asshole. That's kind of a crappy way to treat a friend. Basically you all abandoned the wedding celebration, and I'm guessing she was looking forward to celebrating her wedding with her friends. Hence why you were invited. And it was a reasonable expectation of hers that you actually wanted to celebrate her marriage, since you went. Honestly, you should go to weddings to celebrate and support the marriage of the friends and/or family. Drinking should never a necessity. Even if you were bummed about the alcohol, celebrating and being happy for your friend would take priority over you getting drunk. You are the asshole. I'm going to get downvoted because people seem to hate dry weddings, but as someone with a partner in recovery, I will never understand why people can't go without for one night to support someone you supposedly care about. You picked getting drunk over spending time with your friends for the entire reason you were out to begin with. Edit. I knew a load of folks would hate this, and you did not disappoint. You are the asshole. We got a verbo with another couple I went to college with for a few days. So you are also on a trip where you guys can drink on other days, not just the wedding day. We told people we were going to some bars after and not going to the after party. We left the wedding at 9:30 because we were itching to go out and the wedding was boring. You guys stared this and ruined the after party for the bride. You guys were crappy friends to her. Not the asshole. 10 p.m. is a perfectly reasonable time to leave a wedding. Some guests started filtering out of my wedding at like 8 o'clock and I didn't cry about it. Just hugged them and sincerely thanked them for coming. Info. When did the wedding start and/or how long were you there for? 11 p.m. sounds pretty late for a wedding to end in my experience, especially if it was dry. I can't imagine asking most of my relatives to stay out even close to that late. Am I the asshole for going to a family event that my sister was not invited to after she bailed on a funeral? My bio family really sucks. My sister and I became close to one of our friends, Beth, and her family basically adopted us. They were our rock when our lives sucked with our own parents. They helped put us through college and I do consider them my parents. The problem started earlier this year. Beth's dad passed away and it was a bad time for everyone. Funerals are a huge deal in their family. If you don't go to the funeral, it is considered a fuck you to the dead and the family. My sister has a fear of the dead. She refused to go to the funeral. I tried to get her to go but she still refused. The day came and went and they did not take it well. Beth's mom really didn't take it well, and basically banned her from her home. Her words that he gave so much to her and she basically spat in his face by not going. Basically everyone in the family is pissed at her. She has not been invited to the home and got kicked out when she showed up once. They have a big family reunion in July each year. We both have been going for years, but this year she did not get an invite. She called me up and asked me to not go. I told her that I plan on going even though she is not invited. We got into an argument and she thinks I am huge jerk for going, and I pointed out that she knew they would not take it well that she didn't go to the funeral. Not the asshole. No one likes going to funerals, but given how much Beth's dad did for you and your sister, I agree with Beth's family. It was the bare minimum she could have done as a final sign of respect, and she bailed. She can now deal with the consequences of her actions. Info: was there a way to compromise? Did your sister have an opportunity to come pay her respects after the funeral was over? Because I have a crippling fear of death and funerals, but I would be the first waiting at the door of the house to comfort and pay my respects to the living afterwards. Info: what does fear of the dead mean to you? There's a huge range between ick, a dead body, and vomiting in the corner while having nightmares for a month. Both could be described as a fear of the dead. Not the asshole. Her fear of funerals or whatever it is should be more important than the people who took her in and treated her like family. The effort Beth's father put in is way more than the effort she would have made by going despite her fears. And you should let that affect you. It's her choice to not go. She needs to deal with it by herself. Not the asshole. Your sister knew how important the funeral would be for Beth's family. She also knew the family wanted her there. She chose not to attend, thus damaging her relationship with them. It's unfair to expect you to damage your own relationship with the people you consider family. Could your sister have stayed in the back and not approached the casket? I don't do well with dead bodies. I broke down when a relative tried to get me to go look at my grandma's body during her funeral. However, I'm fine if I keep some distance. Not the asshole. I don't know if you're willing to do it, but it might help if you tell your sister that while there, you'll explain to family members that she didn't mean any disrespect, but that she was an emotional wreck and she really struggles with funerals, and then follow through on that. Am I the asshole for telling my husband taking the kids for the day isn't help? I'm a stay-at-home mom of 2 young kids. My husband works, sometimes long hours. So I am usually in charge of the day-to-day routines, schedules, activities, cooking meals, etc. It works out for us. He is taking this week off, and decided he would take the kids for today, all day. He told me I deserve a day to relax as this week is our vaca for the summer. I ran some errands, and while out I spoke with my husband briefly about dinner. He asked if I would be home for dinner, to which I replied yes. When I got home, his first question was, "What are we doing for dinner?" And I told him I assumed he would have already figured that out, seeing as it's getting close to bedtime for the kids. He said there was no food in the house and would go out to the store to grab groceries. At this point it's getting late, so I told him to just order food. He did, begrudgingly, and asked why I was so irritated and why I couldn't just do it. He said he helped all day with the kids. When I told him it's not help, he's their dad and it's part of his job, he lost it and told me I'm being an ass. Am I wrong for saying that? Am I the asshole? As a father, I say not the asshole. My children are all grown now, but when they were young I took care of them as much as my wife. We both did laundry, dishes, and kept things moving throughout the day. While my wife did most of the cooking, I definitely took my turn. Once I was shopping with my children without my wife. Another man who was shopping with his wife and kids looked at me and asked, "You got stuck babysitting today?" My response was that I never babysit my children. I take care of them, I raise them, and I am part of their lives. The grin on his face dropped away and he mumbled something like, "I was only joking," as he walked away. Men in America need to step up and be active parents, not just bystanders in the lives of their children. Not the asshole you don't help look after the kids you're brought into the world. It's called basic parenting. It's clear you hold all the emotional and household labor including child rearing, so he is in a way assuming he is helping by depriving you of some of that load for a time. This sounds like a lot of miscommunication, and while you are correct that he is just fulfilling his role as a father, The best thing to solve this is to have a conversation on your expectations of each other's roles. Not the asshole, but I don't get how people are signing up for this life. Mom stays home and dad works long-ass hours and doesn't understand how to parent his own kids, and then the marriage breaks down due to resentment and mom is stuck because she's financially dependent on a misogynist. Then the man cries about how women are gold diggers because they require alimony after doing all the things so dad could work and come home and put his feet up. Like WTF? You need and deserve better. Our kids need to see better examples of partnerships than this nonsense. Where's the disconnect? Not the asshole. Lol, he's ridiculous. Helped all day with the kids? As in, had to be a parent to his children? A friend told me why she ended up divorcing her husband. She planned a huge birthday party for one of their kids, made the cake, cleaned and decorated the whole house, sent all the invitations, did all the RSVPs, grocery shopped and prepared the food, lit the grill to prepare the rest, got the kids bathed and dressed, and all organized the parking situation on their large driveway as to not inconvenience any neighbors. Served everybody, took dishes, loaded the dishwasher as fast as she could. She goes to the kitchen to get the cake, light the candles, and starts to walk it out to the table where the crowd was gathered. Her husband asks, "Aren't you going to take pictures of this?" She called a divorce attorney the next day. Not the asshole. Dads don't babysit their kids. It's called parenting. Just because he's not the default parent doesn't mean he's a babysitter. Am I the asshole for making my boyfriend lunch for work? Hi. I, 23F, and my BF, 23M, live together in a studio apartment. For his birthday I got him 3 things. He's really into art, so I got something he really wanted to work on his art. I also got him a unique mug, and lastly I got him a lunchbox. He has been complaining that he was having a hard time bringing lunch to work because he didn't have one. I know it isn't a glamorous gift, but I thought it would be a helpful one. Also, my birthday was back in January and he didn't even get me a birthday gift due to financial issues. Anyway, he was very disappointed when he opened the lunchbox gift and was very upset I got it for him. I explained why, and he was still upset. His birthday was on a Friday, so on Monday I guess I wasn't thinking about it. I woke up early and made him his lunch, in the lunchbox I got him. He became extremely pissed off, telling me that he didn't even eat lunch week because his teeth were bothering him, and so because I didn't remember he was even more mad. He then went on a whole rant, making rude comments at me, demeaning my gift, and saying I don't listen to him when I talk. While I was just trying to be helpful, and can't remember everything he says to me. I also didn't just get him a lunchbox, I got him other things he wanted. Am I the asshole? Not the asshole. Your boyfriend sounds like an ungrateful jerk. What did he want instead of a lunchbox? Very thoughtful gift. Not the asshole. I saw your other post from 10 months back and honestly please leave this man. Trust me, I'm 41, been there done it all. That you will find love again, you will laugh and be treated wonderfully once you dump his sorry ass. The man is a baby. He does not treat you well or how you deserve. No matter how stressed my husband is with work and finances, and even if when we have our occasional disagreement, he will thank me for making him dinner and whatnot. Because we love each and have respect. Please. You deserve so much more. Ans will find it, trust me. Not the asshole. Ask him if he wants to trade it with you for the gift he got you on your birthday. Not the asshole. You got him several gifts, only one of which offered a solution to a problem he continued to tell you about. Then he found reasons to complain about that. On top of that, he didn't get anything for your birthday? Not even a card? Girl. Throw the whole man away. He's not going to get better, he's only going to get worse. It sounds like you may be the asshole to yourself in this one, but maybe you left things about and this fool is maybe not so selfish as he appears. Since he couldn't buy you anything for your birthday, he made you something with his art, right? At minimum a card? And you got some kind of special care on the day, like he made a meal or did an activity together that you wanted? Right? Since you are now trying to gift him with presents and care, that must mean he did at least something for your day? Pretty sure he's buying lunch daily and doesn't want you to know. Either way, not the asshole.